Alright guys, I am back with my review of this week's TNA Impact Wrestling for August 22nd, 2013. And apparently this show is going to be Hardcore Justice Part 2. So, this was filmed last week. And yes, I've already heard a lot of the spoilers already. Unfortunately. But when you tape in advance, it's pretty much impossible to avoid them getting leaked. So, this is usual. But anyways, backstage, Bully Ray is talking to Tito Ortiz. Or actually, he's on the phone with Brookie. And Tito's with him. Anderson comes up and he's pissed off at Bully because Bully didn't tell him about Tito Ortiz in advance. He just kind of surprised the group. So Anderson thinks that if Tito's club business, then the club should know about this. Just sounds fucking stupid. I can't believe I'm saying it. But Bully tells Anderson that he needs to handle his own business and not to worry so much about what he's doing. And then he says, "Let's go, Tito." So that was pretty much it. Alright, so Bad Influence and Bobby Roode come out. I was just thinking of something really funny. I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone, and I said something like, "I gotta get off here, I'm gonna go get a workout in." And he said, "With the Jeff Hardy app." It just popped into my head for some reason. But, anyways, Bad Influence and Bobby Roode come out. And they're talking about the Bound for Glory series, how they're going to go after Bully Ray, and they're going to win the title. One of them's going to win the title. And then Bobby Roode asks Austin Aries to join them. And James Storm and Gunner come out, I guess, to make sure the fans don't think that this alliance of Bad Influence and Bobby Roode is a babyface team. And James Storm says that Bobby Roode's just going to throw Bad Influence away when he's done with them. He attacks Bobby Roode, and we get a tag match with Storm and Gunner versus Roode and Kazarian. All four guys are wearing jeans here, so it's supposed to be kind of like a street fight, I guess. Christopher Daniels just freaking disappears. He took a bump on the ramp, but then he just freaking vanishes. But anyways, Storm super kicks Kazarian and Roode low blows him and rolls him up for the win. So that was pretty much it. And then backstage, Austin Aries is talking about how Main Event Mafia wanted him. Now Bobby Roode wants him, and he's got to think about it, and he's going to give the decision later tonight. It's Manic versus Sanjay Dutt. We learn that the X Division matches are now one-on-one. They're not going to do the triple threat matches every single time anymore. And I guess I should go ahead and mention that TNA announced today that Manic has signed a contract. Their X Division champion has signed a contract with the company. So Manic, or TJ Perkins, wasn't even under contract before this. And there was also some news going around that AJ Styles' contract had expired and they hadn't signed him yet or something. AJ Styles isn't going anywhere. So I don't even know why that's news. But what else happened? Somebody else got released. SoCal Val got released. But I mean, that's not a big deal. I don't even know what she did for the company. She didn't do anything that I'm aware of. But Sanjay Dutt and Manic had a pretty good match here. Very fast-paced. Manic wins with the double knees, and then we see the Aces and Eights talking backstage, and they say that the Main Event Mafia is not going to find a fifth member. So it's going to be 5-on-4, and they have the advantage. Holy crap, this match was overbooked. So you got Joseph Park out there with Eric Young, you got Christopher Daniels, Hernandez, and Jay Bradley. And this is a street fight, so they use a few weapons: chair, kendo stick, brass knuckles. But yeah, just a lot going on here. So the first thing that happens is Roode and Kazarian come out. Eric Young tries to fight them off. They beat him up. Hernandez starts to work over Christopher Daniels, and Austin Aries runs out. And he acts like he's going to join up with Bad Influence and Bobby Roode, but then he hits the Brainbuster on Christopher Daniels and runs away. And Roode and Kazarian chase after him. Fans start chanting yes. Meanwhile, back in the ring, Jay Bradley hits Joseph Park with the brass knuckles, and Joseph Park starts bleeding, hits the Black Hole Slam for the win. So that was the match. I thought they just had way too much shit going on here, and it made me think about Abyss for obvious reasons. And where the hell is he? I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Abyss is the TV champion. And he's had like 2 matches this year, if that. So why even put the TV title on this guy? None of this makes any sense. So I have no idea what the hell they're doing with this Joseph Park Abyss thing and the TV title. And another thing I have to mention is Taz's commentary is just batshit crazy tonight. I don't know what the hell's up with this guy. And I know Botchamania puts the Taz segments in the videos, so they're going to have a ton of shit to work with just based off this episode of Impact alone. Alright, before I talk about this next segment, I just wanted to mention a few more things about this Joseph Park storyline that I just have some questions about. This has been going on for how long now, this Joseph Park storyline, and I don't see it going anywhere. What's the payoff to this? What's the payoff to this whole Joseph Park storyline? He was looking for Abyss. He got kidnapped by the Aces and Eights. He found Abyss. Nothing happened. Then he went to wrestling school. And now when he gets beat up and he starts bleeding, he turns into a monster and hits the black hole slam on people and doesn't remember doing it. Where does this lead? And what does this have to do with Abyss? And I mean, where are they going with this? Normally it doesn't bother me, but it's just the fact it's been going on so long now. I'm trying to figure this out. So I had to stop for a second and just try to think where TNA would actually be trying to take this storyline. And I can't think of anything. It's just stupid. Joseph Park is a comedy character. That's it. His gimmick is he's a shitty wrestler and puts on bad matches. That's Joseph Park. But now, for a long time now, they've been doing this thing where he starts bleeding and snaps and turns into a monster that's supposed to be taken seriously, but then he goes right back to comedy and they put Eric Young with him. This is bizarre. So yeah, I guess I've never really sat and thought about the whole Joseph Park thing, but it really doesn't make any fucking sense. So anyways, the main event Mafia is backstage. Sting is freaking out because they got their asses kicked last week, and Bully Ray won the title again. Tito hit Rampage. Rampage stands up and says when he sees Tito, he's going to break his face. And he tries to act all serious, and then Magnus says, "So what, we're a man short. This is the Mafia. We're supposed to be the elite in professional wrestling." And I'm just looking at Rampage Jackson like, what? What the fuck are you talking about, man? So, I don't know what's going to happen here. I did read the spoilers, but I actually forgot what happens in this whole 5-on-5 match. Bully comes out with Tito Ortiz, says he's the champion again. He doesn't recognize Saban's run as champion because it was a fluke and Saban never beat him. He beat himself. He hands the mic to Tito, who talks about how he knocked out Rampage and he's going to knock him out again on November 2nd, hyping the Bellator fight. And meanwhile, it says hashtag Bully Loves Brooke in the corner of the screen the entire time. And Bully says, "Brooke, honey, come on out here." And it's Brooke Tessmacher. She didn't really get much of a reaction here. I think she's just been off TV for so long, people forgot who she was. At least the live fans did. And she gets in the ring and she makes out with Bully Ray, which I kind of feel sorry for her that she had to do that. But she sucks his wedding ring off his finger, and Bully says, "We're done." And that was the end of the segment. So you got Bully Ray, Tito, Brooke, and he mentioned Taz again, so I don't know. I don't know what this is going to do for anybody, really. I mean, Tito's only going to be around until this fight, probably, and it's not like they can really do a lot with Brooke Tessmacher. I mean, the champion of the knockouts is a heel already, so who knows? But Brooke Tessmacher looked hot as shit out here tonight. So ODB versus Gail Kim. Thought it was an okay match. Gail Kim gets a crucifix pin on ODB for the win, and ODB stays rolled up, which is always funny. But match was okay. Then they showed a really good video for Jeff Hardy talking about the Bound for Glory series. I really like this. And then an awesome promo by Austin Aries, talking about how Bobby Roode needed to go get help, but he picked two guys who have never been world champion. But he says, I've been champion, and I beat Roode to become champion, so I don't need his help. I don't need anybody's help. I thought this was really good stuff here. It's the main event with the Aces and Eights versus the main event Mafia. It's 5-on-4, so Anderson has Bully Ray, Tito, and Brooke Tessmacher come out. They stay on the ramp to watch the match, thinking it's going to be over really quick. Anderson says the Mafia can pick one of their guys to lay down for him, and we can just end it right now. And AJ Styles comes out. And I gotta admit, this was pretty badass. So he comes out, and it's the dark AJ, but then he takes his hood off, they play his old music, and he's wearing his old gear. So AJ has gone back to the old AJ Styles. And got a huge pop, they all start brawling. This was great stuff. However, the negative side of this is all of this build, the dark AJ Styles, all of this was just a colossal waste of time. And this goes back to AJ losing his shot at getting a world title opportunity for an entire year. He can never get a match for the world title. And then he loses to Christopher Daniels, and it caused him to snap. And all of this was supposed to build to something, but with Kurt Angle leaving the Mafia because of his personal reasons, I guess TNA said we got to do something, so they just threw AJ in there. And while it was a really cool moment, it still sucks because they completely just wasted everybody's time with this dark AJ character, which a lot of people were into. I thought it was cool. I thought it could build to something, and he's just AJ Styles again. So that was a little disappointing, and it sucked because this is one of the things those dumbass kids spoiled at the TNA show I went to, so I knew AJ joined the main event Mafia. The match itself wasn't that great. You had a lot of guys in there, Mike Knox, Wes Briscoe, Garrett Bischoff. I did not care about at all, just beating up Magnus. So that was most of the match. But eventually, and Rampage Jackson hits a clothesline and a body slam. But eventually, AJ Styles pins Devon with the Styles Clash and gets the win. So Devon is gone from TNA. I'm not sure if he's actually been released. To be honest, I don't really care. But Devon's gone. At least storyline-wise, for sure. And Bully Ray's freaking out about this. I guess if Tito's going to leave after the Bellator fight, and the only other person they've brought in for the Aces and Eights is Brooke Tessmacher, which I'm happy about. I'm glad she's back on television again. I really like her. Really, the Aces and Eights are slowly just fading away, and this is a very good thing. I'm glad they're finally going to get rid of the Aces and Eights. That's what it feels like it's building to. They're going to eliminate all the members one by one, and it's over. That's it. We don't have to see this anymore. But Devon's gone. He was the Sergeant of Arms. Doc's gone, so they don't have anyone out there directing the chaos anymore. And you got Wes Briscoe, Garrett Bischoff, Knox, Taz, Anderson, and Bully. Technically Tito and Brooks. So that's your Aces and Eights. And as far as the show goes, I didn't really care much for this. None of the matches were really good. I'd say this was probably a little below average for me personally. That's just my opinion. Not the best week for wrestling so far. I mean, you had Raw, which I said was below average. TNA was below average this week. Haven't seen SmackDown yet, but hopefully it's a better show. I know it's supposed to be Daniel Bryan versus Barrett in a steel cage, so hopefully that's good. But yeah, as far as Impact goes, nothing special about this show at all. So anyways, that's my review. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on the show in the comments, and thanks for watching.